Israel Museum, Jerusalem. Susan Bauer emptied a third cup of coffee and set her mug down with a thud, thankful that the caffeine was kicking in. She shivered. On a gloomy day like this, Susan's cramped corner of the dimly lit museum basement felt like a cave. She reached for her heavy gray cardigan, drew it around her shoulders, and began the mind-numbing chore of fitting together ancient scroll fragments. She was on what felt like a never-ending quest that had started 9 months ago when she'd secured the sought-after internship. She'd jumped at the chance for numerous reasons, none greater than she wanted to put some distance between herself and a bossy mother, a milquetoast father, and a spoiled, demanding younger sister whose all-consuming wedding had been on the brink of devouring her, too. On completing her master's at UC San Diego, Susan saw a post on the college bulletin board. A Dr. Gold in Jerusalem needed an assistant. She landed the job and within 2 weeks found herself on a long economy flight to Jerusalem. Just as she wondered why she'd ever signed on for this tedious task, she spotted something unexpected on her screen. Normally, Susan's work on the scrolls referenced rules, traditions, and teachings of the Essenes, an early Jewish sect from the 2nd century BC. But these fragments were different. Her brown eyes narrowed, and as she leaned in closer, shiny chestnut curls fell forward about her face. She looped a lock behind an ear to clear the view. "Dr. Gold, come have a look," she called out to the watery-eyed, middle-aged scholar who sat across the room engrossed in his own work. Dr. Samuel Gold was a prominent paleographer appointed by IAA to interpret ancient writings. An unmarried, solitary soul, he was interested only in his current project, the Dead Sea Scrolls, discovered in 1946 in the Qumran caves on the north shore of the Dead Sea in the West Bank. Making sense of the large find had claimed his undivided attention since the 90s, when IAA made a great push for their translation. Dr. Gold frowned. Susan had broken his concentration, again, and it wasn't even noon. He'd never gotten used to the interruption when he was absorbed in the fascinating details of ancient history. He considered switching around her schedule so he could have a few hours of peace each day. Heaving a sigh, he rose, adjusted his baggy pants, and ambled over. "What is it, Susan?" If he had a shekel for every time he'd uttered that phrase since hiring her, he could pay Technavio to invent a machine to piece together these scrolls. "Look," Susan said. Dr. Gold stooped over her shoulder and squinted through small, round, metal-framed glasses at the fragments of parchment on the computer screen. His eyes locked on the words "Temple Scroll," written on 2 pieces that Susan had fitted together. During the rule of Vespasian, on the 9th day of Av, he began scanning the words carefully. "The house of Israel destroyed, looted, treasures taken from priest's library, secret temple scroll stolen." "Huh!" Dr. Gold barked. Susan jumped in her seat. That was the most animated she'd ever heard the man. "How old are these pieces?" he asked. Susan referred to her log. "Between 18 and 69 CE. Dr. Gold frowned. "This reference to the destruction of Herod's temple is odd. I mean, odd that it's showing up here. It's out of the time frame you're working in. Secret temple scroll." "What should we do with these fragments, Dr. Gold?" "I'm not sure. I just don't know," he repeated, mostly to himself. Dr. Gold wandered away, realizing that this was the first interruption all year that didn't irk him. Susan looked over at Dr. Gold. That was all she was likely to get out of him for the day. She saved the fragments to her desktop and headed to lunch, unaware that what she had found would turn her world, the whole world, upside down.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.